What would you do if suddenly somebody on board was pulling a bunch of practical jokes in the middle of space with a bunch of your enemies attacking you? I'm Salad and I saw Star Trek The Animated Series Season 2, Episode 3, The Practical Joke. It is directed by Bill Reed, written by Chuck Manville and Len Jansen. If you haven't seen this episode, I'll spoil it for you. The USS Enterprise is being attacked by a bunch of Romulans, and then they pass through this cloud. And while they pass through this cloud, a bunch of practical jokes are being pulled, such as, you know, the classic kick me or I'm stupid, the little post-it note you put on behind people. Also, just random holes in the ground covered by leaves. They first start off harmless, very harmless pranks. And then they get progressively more and more intense until it's like, bro, having a bunch of ice, then covering that with fog, that's not cool. Also, oh, practical joke, you're now in a snowstorm and you're about to die. Whoa, practical joke. It's like, no, that's not cool at all. That's not cool, ship. Oh yeah, it was a ship doing it. Because of the cloud that they went through, the ship can now do practical jokes. Honestly, most of the episode is them discovering, oh, who's doing these practical jokes? Why are there so many practical jokes? And then they discover, oh, it's the ship. Well, how do we make it so the ship can stop doing the practical jokes? Kirk notices the solution. He's like, oh, well, I don't want to go through this thing. And he's like saying it reverse psychology because he's already figured out, okay, so the ship's going to do practical jokes. I have to make it so it seems like it's a joke on me to do the thing that I want to do. So I have to frame it in such that it looks like I don't want to do this. And so he does that, and the ship's like, haha, you don't want to go there, don't you? Haha. And the ship's also like, let me inflate a balloon that's really big and have it so the Romulans attack that. And I'm like, wait, you have just latex? Where did you get the latex from to make a big balloon like that? I'm not going to think about it too hard, but it definitely opens a lot of questions that I want answered, and this episode doesn't answer them. The Romulans get mad, and they do be chasing the Enterprise, and Kirk successfully tricks the Enterprise into going through that cloud, and the Enterprise is like, well, I guess no more practical jokes because I pranked myself, and the Romulans now have to deal with practical jokes themselves, so they have to pass through the cloud in order to get rid of the practical jokes. This is definitely more of a silly episode. It seems nobody really got harmed, just a lot of practical jokes, lots of laughing, and my favorite part, seeing Spock be like, oh, well, these are practical jokes. And his response is just so emotionless, it's great. His sense of humor is so dry sometimes. I think my favorite part has to be when they finally realize it's the ship's computer. I'm like, frickin', it's the ship, man. It's the ship. The ship sometimes can just be weird, scrambled, right? And immediately it will have some sort of personality or defect, and it's always a fun episode whenever that happens. This episode mostly takes place on the USS Enterprise, so we got the Great Walls with the blue, yellow, and red, and ultimately, this is a fun, alright, wacky episode. I've got to give it, it's a 6.8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another on the platform really likes that. If I haven't reviewed on the channel, there's a chance I haven't seen it at all, so get them in Patreon requests in at patreon.com/ASEPresents for one movie review per 1 month. Get them requests in, and also help support the daily grindness by going to autosticboobs.com so you can go here. And until next time, Salad Saw, I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits. Beam me up.